With his outstanding ability to motivate his audiences to develop their God-given talents and abilities, Brian Dodge is becoming one of America's most sought-after keynote speakers. His vibrant and spirited speaking style has made him an in-demand seminar instructor on topics of personal development, leadership, professional salesmanship, team building, and time management. After listening to him just once, you too will be confident about enhancing your own human potential and personal greatness.
Let's buckle up and fly. Are you ready? Say yes. Yes. All right. Because I do know one thing. The greatest asset we all have, and that's our time. Say true. True. That sucked. Say true. True. So being respectful of your time, there's a whole bunch I'm going to do for you very quickly. Number one is introduce myself. Why in the world would you be willing to even listen? Number two is to share some ideas and techniques in 3 different categories. Number one is personal development. Nothing changes until you change. Once you change, everything changes. Say true. True. Number 2 is how to have your best year ever. Who in this room wants this year and next year to be some of the best years you've ever had in your life? Let's hear it! Woohoo! Because it is your choice, you know. And then we're going to talk about something that really matters. Are you ready? Say yes. Yes. Who in this room has people reporting to you? Raise your hands. Who in this room has a friend? Raise your hands. Who in this room is looking for a friend? Raise your hands. Come on, folks. We lead every minute, every second of our life. Say true. So we're going to talk about how to take ownership of leadership of your own life. I jokingly say I have a small territory. I cover the United States, Canada, and Australia. I'm on and off plane about every 3rd day. Anybody in this room ever traveled before? Fair to say it gets old? Big time. People ask me all the time, why in the world to continue to do it? I've been doing this now for 17 years. Last year I did 411 appearances. Calculate that one out. But I was only in hotel nights 24 nights. Woohoo! 2 reasons. Number one is I get to work with and learn from the very best in my profession called sales. And I want to clarify something. I am not a speaker and I'm not the motivator. You ought to see the look on your face. You're going, dude, whatever you are, cut back on the coffee. I'm a salesperson, and I'm very proud of it. Where else in the world can you get up in the morning and have no idea what's going to happen to you? Say true. All right, by a show of hands, who in this room's in sales? Raise your hands. By a show of hands, who in this room talks to somebody who does breathe every so often? By a show of hands, who in this room has kids? Give it up. We're big time in sales. Say true. I have a 21, 18, 15. You know what I've learned? I sell my kids every day. On the books they read, the class they take, and the people they hang around. Because I've learned something, folks. If you ain't selling them, somebody else is. Say true. And the second reason I do what I do is I get to work with some great coaches. And the greatest coach you'll ever have in your life, you do not know me. I do not know you. But I know there's many faces I can't see right now because this room's dark. But I do know the truth. Are you really ready? Say yes. Yes! I can see the faces. I know there's some friends out there because I live here in Texas. Anybody in this room happen to know where Lucas, Texas is? Yep, that's my home. So I got to get in my truck and drive over here today and not get on one plane. Thank you very much. What I'm asking you to do is understand one thing. And please leave the lights up. I'm going to ask you to do one thing. Because what stage is bright, that's fine. That's the way it's supposed to work. But you know who really should be the brightest? Is the people sitting in this room. Say true. Oh, that sucked. Say true. Because you make the business, and the business will be your best friend. Say true. Self-education will make your fortune. So right now, I'm going to ask you to do something you don't do very well. You say yes to the business, 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 yes to the family, yes to the kids. At the end of the day, you're tapped. Say true. You have no time, no energy. Who do you end up saying no to? Be honest. Yourself. I just finished doing an all-day program in Atlanta. I like all days. I don't have to talk so fast. Lady jumps right up in the middle of the program. She says, I say no to my husband, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. I said, ma'am, I prefer not to go down that road. All I know is one thing. I don't know you. You don't know me. But I do know one thing. Things happen for a reason. Say true. So what I'm asking you to do is be selfish. For the few minutes I have left, and if you think I'm talking fast now, hold on. See how well you can stay here both mentally and physically. And I want to let you know something. I'm an expert at knowing if you're no longer here. Because now I can see you. You know why? Everybody say why? Because I have 3 children. Those of us that have kids, we know, don't we? They're looking at you. They're smiling. Lights are on. Nobody's home. All right, folks, this is your time. Everybody grab a piece of paper and a pen. If you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, you borrow one from a friend. If you don't have a friend, you need to start there. Are you ready? Say yes. Fort Worth didn't hear that. Are you ready? Say yes. Who in this room wants to have this as a major goal in your life, and that's to have consistent upward growth in your life? Raise your hands. Name of the game, isn't it? Anybody can have a great day and a bad day. Say true. Anybody can have a great week and a bad week. Say true. Anybody can be motivated in the morning and depressed in the afternoon. You're catching up on this concept, aren't you? He goes, true. It's called the EAT philosophy. Write this down. EAT. Somebody going, food. I like this guy. No, not food. It's a philosophy. If you're doing real well with each one of these categories, you're creating what we call upward consistent growth in your life, your business, and the opportunities. If you're missing one of these categories, I guarantee it's costing you a heck of a roller coaster ride. Take a look and see how well you're doing. E in the word EAT stands for being eager learner. Underneath the word eager learner, you know what's interesting? Say what? I can sit down with you for 10 or 15, 20 minutes, tell you what your mind is. You the man. We're going on the road together. I can tell right now. Do you know why? Everybody say why. One word. If it's in your vocabulary, you're very open-minded. If it's not in your vocabulary, you're not. And I hate to break the news to you, but statistically proven, 80% of the people in this room have lost the word. Let's see if you can figure out which word I'm talking about. Who in this room has kids again? Raise your hands. How many kids you got? 2? What ages? You had to think about that, didn't you? We'll work on the memory tomorrow. You take a child between ages 3 and 5, and never forget something, folks. We learn everything we need to know about personal development between ages 3 and 5. That's proven. You take one word out of that child's vocabulary, which is called no, which could be an exciting thought. Say true. If you took that one out, what's one other word they use a ton other than no at that age? Ha! Did you hear her? She even had the tonality down. She goes, why? That was good. You know what I'm talking about? Mom, why you got a refrigerator? Keep food cold. Why want to keep food cold? So go bad. Why don't you go bad? So get sick. Why aren't you sick? You know, they go on and on and on and on. You almost want to smack them. Underneath the word eager, write the word why and circle it. You gotta see the look on your face. She goes, I can't believe they let him out. For the next 24 to 48 hours, see how often you use it. You know what you're going to find? You lost it. Do you know why? Everybody say why? Oh, you're a quick group, you are. Number one reason is you get to a certain age you think you should know. Don't get there. We're in the information age. More information came in last night and you could even learn today. Say true. And the second reason is killing corporate America, killing our economy, and killing this business. So stop it. We get around our peers, and we don't want them to know that what? That we don't know. Now you want to know the truth? Say yes. If you don't know, she doesn't either. So what do we have? We have 2 people talking about something that neither one knows anything about, and only in America can one still advance. All right, you geniuses. What's the greatest computer in the world? The human brain. I just came back from Vegas, over 6,000 people. This lady jumps up and she says, Dell. I said, Dale will be happy to hear that. No, not Dale, the human brain. Now you want to hear the most powerful thing one friend can share with another? Please say yes. That sucked. Please say yes. Those that understand the how in life always work for those that understand the why. You can have dreams, folks, but how you get a dream to go to a vision is you understand the why. Now are you really ready to hear the why? That was unacceptable. Say yes. There's a lot of people, a lot of families giving up their loved ones right now, fighting for us, for our freedom. And they are doing more than we can dream of. And you know what they want us to do while they're over there fighting for us? Everybody say what? They want you to be fighting for what they're fighting for there, here. It's true, isn't it? It's the freedom of choice. It's the freedom of enterprise. It's the freedom of financial freedom. It's the freedom of pride. It's the freedom to make a difference. And it's the freedom to understand America is the greatest place in the world to live. Say true. So let's stand up and understand the why. A in the word eat stands for argue. Somebody going, hey, I got 1 out of 2. That's not bad. True or false? Do we have negativity in our life? That was a true or false question. All right, let's slow down here a little bit. True or false? Say true. And there is a ton of success sitting in this room. Say true. As you become more successful, does negativity / challenges increase or does it decrease? Every time, so be careful what you ask for. See, most people say what? I wish I had less problems. You do not want less problems. Unless you want to earn less, do less and have less. And we don't need you to do that. We need you to have more, do more, and be more. Say true. Because the greatest asset this industry has happens not to be the product, folks. I know you have wonderful product, but I'm going to tell you the truth. It's the people sitting in these chairs. Say true. What I'm going to ask you to do is, I spend a day and all I'm asking, and by the way, that's as silly as what? 2 people meeting each other. They fall in love. They decide to get married. Perfect communication skills. Perfect financial skills. Perfectly hypothetical here. Say true. I've been married 26 years, no such thing. Then they look at each other and say what? Oh, let's keep things just the way they are, but let's have children. Hello, McFly, that ain't going to happen. But you know what? Say what? I think kids are the greatest gift in life, period. But you know what? There's a price to pay for them little suckers. Well, you know what I've learned? Say what? There's a price to pay for happiness. There's a price to pay for sadness. There's a price to pay for success. And there's a price to pay for failure. Do you know why I showed up for you today? Everybody say why? To remind you to pick the right price. And this business will remind you every day of only one thing, the right price. But it still has to be your choice. Say true. And I'm going to say something from the deepest part of my heart. If you're not happy for any reason right now, you change it before you leave this room. Do you know why? Everybody say why? That was good. That was good. If I give it, I'll give it up. Because life is too short not to be happy. Say true. And life is way too long not to do well. So you can get her both done. Now you want, and I'm going to say something right now. You really ready? Say yes. If you're not happy for any reason, don't tell anybody. Do you know why? Everybody say why? Because 80% of the people that you tell that you're not happy are actually happy to hear you're not happy. What are you pumping up their day for? And the other 20% really don't what? Care. Whose responsibility is to make you happy in life? Too many people are cleaning other people's garages out and yours is a mess. Today was designed, a family came together to build an industry, to allow a room to exist so you could come and be reminded you matter, you count, you're special, and life is a choice. So there. Folks, let's accept the truth right now. If you're reading, you're growing. If you're not, you're not. Don't lie to yourself. And if you've gotten away from reading, who cares? Just get back. We all get away. Today's not about yesterday. Today's about tomorrow. And I do not believe in guilt. I'll prove it to you right now. Are you really ready? Say yes. Yes. Who in this room is fortunate enough to have a bad habit? Then enjoy that sucker. Are you with me? There's nothing worse than this. I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke, I shouldn't smoke. If you're going to smoke, suck it up. Just don't blow it in my face. Because you know what the truth is? You know what the truth is? Say what? The more you enjoy it, the less you'll end up doing it. You throw guilt into that formula, it's a 9-to-1 extension. Hello? Do you guys ever get erupted throughout the day? Duh. He said, you write down these 3 words, you live by these 3 words, it'll change your life. I did, it has, I'd love to share them with you. Underneath argue, write this down. On its time. On its time. And I looked at him, I said, what in the world is on its timing? He said, Brian, think about it. Almost stopped there, didn't I? If you don't have something negative, if you're not in a negative situation right now in your life, can I break the news to you? Say yes. You got one coming. You're either going into or coming out of crisis at all times of your life. Say true. I mean, so just think about it. If you're not one now, you got one coming. Get pumped up. There you go. I said, what's on its timing? He says, do you want to be successful? See, I've learned something in life. You can't choose my success. I can't choose your success. That's your own choice. But we can be friends to put the position into a situation where the choice is the right one. That's what people do. I said, I choose to. He said, good. Whenever something negative enters your life, stop whatever you're doing, don't care what you're doing. And you resolve that problem on its time. You do it on its time, you control it. Say true. There's only one other choice. You ignore it, push it aside, hope it goes away. Does it go away? It only gets what? And you know what's even worse than worse? Don't say worser. I heard that. That's no such word. You've allowed it onto your time. Now who's in control? You. You know what the number killer memory is? Stress, health, stress, happiness, stress. Do you know what stress is? You're spending more time worrying about what you didn't do yesterday, how it's going to catch up to you tomorrow, than you are even paying attention to what you're doing today. Woohoo! T in the word eat stands for being thankful. And no, I'm not talking about how blue the sky is and how green the grass is. Give me a break. I told you I just came back from Vegas, and the lady introduced me the same way again. She was so funny. She goes, the motivational speaker's here. So I turned on the mic and I said, yes, I live in a van down by the river. I don't even believe in motivation. So if you ever want to compliment me, please don't put my name in that category. Do you know why? Everybody say why? Thank you very much. I'll tell you one thing, because here's why. I'll tell you why. Here it is. We've all heard it before, but it's true. You take an idiot and you motivate him, what do you got? Can we all agree that's not exactly what we're trying to accomplish here? Say true. We're talking about inspiration. It's the thing that comes from within. It's the sparkle in the eyes, because you are back. You are back in a big way. It's the shine that somebody says, I don't know what you're doing, but tell me about it. Do you know why? Because you got the shine. And when that shine comes back, your life comes back. And if you come back, America comes back. And if Americans come back, then our soldiers, when they come back, are going to be proud that they fought for us. And you know what? My favorite movie, some of you might think I'm silly, it's called Pollyanna. You know what I love about that movie? If you look for the good in a person, guess what? If you look for the bad? If you look for the good in this business? If you look for the bad? So guess what life is? Your choice. What you choose to look for, you will find. And what you find, you will attract. And what you attract, you become. That's your own destiny. I had this lady, she was so cute. She goes, I saw you speak in Chicago. Brought 50 of my management people down to Atlanta. I said, why didn't you wait for me to come back to Chicago? She goes, no, we wanted to come. She goes, her name is Leslie. She goes, can you explain to me why this happens to me, and 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 why this happens to me? And she was starting to scare me. I looked at her and said, you want to know the truth? Do you know why I asked her that question? Everybody say why? You're good at that. Because most people don't want to know the truth. You'd be amazed how many times people look at me and go, I already know the truth. I don't need to hear it from you. She goes, I want to know the truth. I says, good. I got no idea why those things happen to you. I'm not psychic. All I know is things like that always happen to people like you. True or false? Are there things in our life we can control? Say true. Are there things in our life we cannot control? Say true. Right now, I showed up for one reason. For you to be reminded. You focus on what you can control, you're in control. You focus on what you can't control, you're out of control. I pick a compliment every year. This is my favorite compliment. About 6 years ago, a company called and says, we've got a problem. I said, what's your problem? They had 2,100 employees walking out. I said, yeah, that's a challenge. I said, how many employees you have? 2,100. I said, no, that's a big problem. So he said, I've heard you're weird. I said, yeah, I guess I am. He said, maybe can you come help us? And I said, well, I'd be more than honored to. Well, we showed up, had a good time. Folks, everything I'm talking about here today, I didn't invent a thing. It's a message. You own it as much as I do. The only difference is I understand why. I understand why I have to do what I have to do. Even though you have more talent in that one leg and one arm and one ear than I have altogether. You have no idea. I'll share more about that tomorrow with you. But the reality of it is, don't let things get in your way that's not supposed to get in your way. Say true. So he calls back and said, we got a bigger challenge. I said, what's that? He says, we're growing too fast. I said, well, that's a challenge. Trust me on that one. So he said, we want you to come back. And so he called my partner and says, can we send out an email to all his employees? And they all said, we won't bring back the weird guy. So he calls my partner and he says, can we get Dodge? And he says, no, family vacation time. Can't touch him. So then he calls me direct and says, Dodge, you don't understand. 90% of my people ask for you. You got to show up. I said, no, you don't understand. 100% of my family asked for me. Say true. You cannot grow until you know the power of no. Then he says, your family loves the beach. I said, you got that right. He said, we're holding a meeting on the beach. I said, that's cool. He said, you bring your family down, we'll spoil it for 2 days. You spend 3 hours with my company. I said, now you're talking. You suck up to my family. You got my focus big time. Are you with me? Say yes. Because I know the rewards. And you know what's interesting? So we went down, had a wonderful time. My 3 kids flew back. They had soccer and football. Margaret and I